Good morning, happy Friday everybody, and welcome back. It's time for the next edition of the Weekly Member Spotlight. Today I am very excited to be sitting down with Mrs. Karen Bruner from RentPath. Karen's one of the very first people that I ever met when I got into the business back in the late 90s, and so I'm super excited to sit down with her and learn a little more about her feelings on the industry and a little more about her personal life. Before we get into the interview though, I wanted to take a moment and remind everyone that next Thursday, December 6th, it's our Holiday Cheers event at the Kenwood Country Club. So if you have not yet RSVP'd for the event, please make sure you do that today. It's going to be a great time. You don't want to miss it. And if you're coming to the event and want to take a look at the auction items in advance, check out our Instagram page. We've been posting some pictures of some of the items that are going to be up, and it's super cool. You're not going to want to miss it. All right, without further ado, thank you very much, Karen, for spending a Friday morning with us.
You're so welcome.
We appreciate it very much. We're going to just dive right in if that's okay.
Okay, that's
All right, well first, let's just tell everybody a little bit about what you do today, who you work for, and how long you've been in the business.
Okay, so today I still work for RentPath, which used to be Apartment Guide. I started in the business 19 years ago with Globe Furniture Rentals, which is where we met.
That is.
Working for Don. And then I went to Apartment Guide as a sales exec, and then was given a promotion to selling publisher in Dayton. And then once Cincinnati opened, I asked if I could do both, sent the proposal, they said yes. Became a dual market manager. I've done that for 15 years. Became a district sales manager, and now I've been promoted to a regional position that's brand new, and we're just formatting that.
Well, congratulations on the promotion. So how did you get into the business working for Globe Furniture?
I had been a stay-at-home mom for 16 years, and when my last went off to first grade, I decided that I would go back out into the workforce. And a friend of mine worked for Globe Furniture Rental, and she referred me, and I started there in 1999.
Very cool. Yeah, I remember meeting you, and I told you this morning, it's embarrassing but so funny. I don't know how I ever even knew what Globe Furniture was or how I heard about it, but when I was younger, my cousins and my sister and I, we would play like we were Globe Furniture people. And we would pretend to answer the phone and pretend to take orders of what people needed, and so maybe that's why I've always been drawn to you there, and I have this like desire to know what's going on at the furniture rental company.
It's fun. It was a good place to be.
Oh, good. So how did you, well, we talked about how you got into the business a little bit, but how did you like get associated with the apartment industry?
Actually, I didn't know how huge the apartment industry is, or was, however you want to say that, until I was in it, and I was hired in at Globe as a purchasing agent, and I just found it all so exciting, and to get to know so many people, and that we provide homes for so many people, and I loved it. I loved it from the beginning. I love it now. I love helping people find homes still. I really love doing the models.
Yeah.
That was fun, but it was just a real learning experience for me, because I had no idea that whole outside world existed.
I'm going to totally throw you for a loop. How many models do you think you've done in your time?
Oh my gosh.
Could you even guess?
I could not, but I would do one now. So
I know how many you've done for me, so I can't imagine.
Right.
Well, what's been one of your most memorable moments being involved in this industry?
Oh my gosh, there are so many. If I had to say what was the most memorable, I would probably have to say when I landed my first deal at Deer Cross Apartments for Aimco back in the day, and I got 12 corporate housing gentlemen from, is it called Ethicon? What's it?
Yeah,
is that what it is? And that was my biggest sale. It was like, okay, I can do this.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was exciting.
Very good. So what advice would you give to folks who are just getting into the apartment industry and getting associated with the GCNKAA?
I think that a lot of times you expect people to come to you these days because we're in such a different, busy work world, and I think it takes a lot of hard work and building the relationship. I still think, as you know, technologically, educated as everybody is, it's easy to just shoot a text or even send 5 emails. I think that you have to start from the ground up and build that relationship, and a handwritten note doesn't hurt anybody.
Love that.
Mhm.
We still do that in our business even.
Good for you.
Ask our sales associates to send a handwritten note to prospects. I think that's
Absolutely.
coming to be a lost art.
That's right.
All right, well, can we talk a little personal?
Sure.
Well, tell us a little bit about, we'll start with your family, because I
Oh.
know how much you love your family.
I do.
So tell us a little bit about your family.
Okay, so we were just talking at dinner the other night, Don and I were about, we have a 26, a 27, a 30, 31, a 32, a 34, a 36, and a 37. Did I get everybody?
Wow.
Yeah.
How many is that? I lost count.
Well, we have 6 together.
Uh-huh.
Don has a stepdaughter from his first marriage, Amanda, so she's 7, and then we have 2 son-in-laws and a daughter-in-law, and then we have 3 grandbabies.
Oh, wow.
And I could talk about those guys all day.
I love
so-
seeing all of your pictures.
Thank
It
you.
makes me very
Yeah.
happy for you.
Right.
What do you like to do with your family? What's some of your hobbies and pastimes?
Oh my gosh, we just love to get together. We eat a lot. We share a lot of meals. We go to parks a lot. We play music. We dance. You know.
You have a special place that you go sometimes on the weekends
We
too, right?
do.
What's
We go
that
to the
called?
Happy Shack.
The Happy Shack.
That's right, and everybody loves it. The little guys call it the cabin.
Yeah.
We call it the Happy Shack. We were gonna call it the Love Shack, but the kids thought that was gross.
Maybe.
So we didn't do that. But it's great. It's a great escape.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Very fun.
Yeah.
And you go there a lot?
We go there every weekend.
Oh, every single weekend.
As many weekends as we can.
Oh, good. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, let's get into a little bit more just about you. What's the last book that you read?
I read It's Always the Husband.
Yeah. Good book?
It
Should
was
I
a
should I
good
download
book.
that one?
It was a good book. My favorite book this year was Big Little Lies.
Yes, I read
Mhm.
that.
My other favorite was The Last Mrs. Parrish. I recommend.
Did you
that
watch
one.
any of the series for Big Little
I
Lies?
did.
I
All
need
of
to,
it.
I need to do that. I've only read it.
Yeah, so those are my suggestions.
What about TV or movies? Do you have any favorites?
Since it's Christmas time, I like Love Actually.
Absolute classic,
Mhm.
of course.
Yes.
It's on Netflix. I just saw it
I know.
the other day.
I know.
What about sports? Do you have any favorite sports?
I love to golf.
Yeah?
Mhm.
Are you good?
Marble at it.
Oh.
But I love it. Mhm. I'll go out and have a good game and then think I can do it better the next time and then have a horrible game.
Yeah.
But I kind of think that's how golf goes. Well, for me.
Right.
Yeah. But I love golf. We live on a golf course, and then in the Happy Shack we have 27 holes.
Oh, wow, okay.
Yeah.
So do you play often?
We do, as often as we can.
What about any local sports teams that you follow?
Well,
Like
we
to
love the
root for?
Bengals. And you can hear yelling and curse words coming from my house most Sundays. But we usually gather, the family gathers to watch those games, and that's really fun.
You gonna watch the Broncos play
Mhm, we
in
are.
Tallahassee? Hope we can pull that off. They're not very good either, so.
We need to pull that
We
off.
do need to
Yes.
pull that off. And I saw Andy is out now,
Yeah,
so.
well, I think that's a good thing.
Maybe we'll pull it off. Who knows? Andy's gone and we're playing the Broncos. What could go wrong?
That's right.
Well, tell me about your favorite concert that you've ever been to.
Oh my gosh, that's easy. I've been to many, because I'm a music buff, but we were in Las Vegas and Garth Brooks was there. And we went to see Garth Brooks in the small theater at the Wynn, and there were like 1,500 people there. And it was by far the best. And Trisha Yearwood was
Oh,
there,
I was
and it
gonna
was
ask.
just, it was amazing. And I think Garth looked up and waved at me or smiled. He pretty much looked at me.
I love that. And I love him and Trisha Yearwood
Yes,
together.
me too.
But you
Me
couldn't
too.
love them more. Well, tell us something interesting about yourself outside of the industry, or something that the folks who know you through the GCNKA might not otherwise know.
I think that most people don't know, when I was at home with my children, I had 5. I worked full-time until the 3rd one was born, Katie. And then I wanted to stay home after I had the other 2. So the last 3 are born in a little over 4 years, so I was pretty busy then. And so to make extra income, I ran a daycare out of my home. So I had my 5, and then I brought 6 on. Now they came at staggered times, but I did that for a dozen years.
Would you say people describe you as being very patient
They do.
because of that experience?
Right. I think you have to have a certain, not love of children, we all love children, but the patience factor is
Oh, yeah.
big. Routine is big. So I think that that helped me in my career now from the beginning because I'm very good at time management.
Right.
Mhm.
And multitasking.
And I
imagine.
also know when someone's looking at you and they're not telling the truth.
And when someone might need a hug.
That's exactly
Aw,
right.
well, that's interesting. I never knew that about you until
Mhm.
preparing for this, so that's
Yeah.
interesting.
Mhm.
So, tell us about what kind of involvement do you have with the GCNKA? I know you're on some
Mhm.
boards and at the national level as well.
I am. So I've been on this board, Rent Path, Apartment Guide, whatever you want to call us. We've had an agreement, a partnership here for 25 years. So someone has represented us. I've been fortunate enough to be that person for the last 15 years. That ends on the board this year. And it's just been, I can't say enough about our association. I sat on the board of directors in Dayton for 10 years. That was also a great experience. And now I'm moving more toward the National Apartment Association. And I serve on the Social Corporate Committee and the Marketing and Communications Committee. And I'm also the liaison for Region 3, which is our region.
Fantastic.
So I
That's
really
exciting.
enjoy the association work.
Well, thank you for
But I
all
can't
that you
say
do.
enough about us right here. We're very, very well known and very well respected.
You've been a big part of that for my whole career especially, so thank you for all that you do for us and all of
You're
all of
so
the
welcome.
support.
You're so welcome.
Well, just to kind of round it out, Karen, what would you expect anyone who's worked with you in this industry or knows you from this industry, what would they say about you?
I would hope that they say that I care, that I'm passionate about it, and that I'm kind. I noted to you yesterday that when I ran for associate council, my slogan was Karen Cares, and then my slogan from then on was Karen Still Cares. And I would like everybody to know that Karen still does care.
Karen will always be. Well, Karen, thank you very much for
You're
being
so
here. We appreciate it.
welcome.
I'm very excited to share all of your pictures and your post here. We're gonna make the post in a couple of hours this afternoon, and Karen was gracious enough to share some really fun pictures of her family. I did not count how many people were in that picture, but I think she just told us by name who they all are. So be on the lookout for that this afternoon. And thank you once again for joining us. We appreciate your support and hope to see everybody out next week, December 6th, at the Kenwood Country Club for our Holiday Cheers event.
Come to the auction.
Come to the auction. Thanks, everyone. Have a great weekend.
Bye.